What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some solo Marc Almond for the first time, and we're sort of jumping ahead to a very specific point because I wanted to do a reaction for a great friend of the channel, Kim. So we're going to go to his Stranger Things album, 2001, and we're going to listen to a tune. Is it Glorious? It is Glorious. That is a proper noun, I have no doubt. It may very well be glorious in a qualitative sense. But yeah, again, she had asked if I would do this, and I obviously was keen to do so. Not only do I feel like I've been lagging on the soft sell reaction series, but there's a whole bunch of other things that Kim has shared with me, including solo Marc Almond. And I've become like a huge fan of Marc Almond, not just his really charismatic and sometimes outside the lines vocal performances, but the intensity and soul-bearing nature of a lot of his lyrics. I do also just love the kind of stage presence that comes across even in the audio reactions, and at some point I'm going to begin reacting to all manner of video, both music videos and, you know, live performances eventually, starting with music videos, but for all different groups that I've been deep diving on. So hopefully more visual stuff will come in the soft sell deep dive eventually. But again, I wanted to do this reaction for a good friend of the channel, Kim. So yeah, Glorious, something which is to be celebrated, which is to be you know, showered in glory, or which evinces glory. Certainly there are religious connotations in which this term is often used. It is, of course, used in more you know, popular or colloquial context as well, but let's see what I can catch on the first listen. This is Marc Almond. The tune is Glorious, and it's from his 2001 album, Stranger Things.
Story that no one told, a revelation
Almost sounds a little like Andy Bell.
to behold. It gave me answers, it showed me the way.
Look at the edge to the
It made me stronger
lower end.
every day. In a lane of fear, it got high running. All this lonely love moves us on. Feelings wider than the sky surround me on all sides, gently floating down. A symphony of sound wakes me every day, nudging me to pray. The story is still unless the doubting past has gone away. Story again retold, a revelation glorious. surround me on all sides, gently floating down in a symphony of sound. It wakes me every day, urging me to pray. The story is told at last, the doubting past has gone away.
Wonder who sung backing vocal. This may be something that was already told me. In the moment, I'm not remembering. What a beautiful tune. There's a tiny bit of edge in the lower end, but overall, a very uplifting, soaring tune with feelings wider than the big blue sky. Yeah, like it does feel like religious sentiment, the feeling of wanting to pray and revelation. So yeah, it felt like a sort of affirmation of that, now, living feels like a glorious gift and so on. It kind of feels in that sentiment. I will say sonically, it's so incredibly different from this Last Night in Sodom going through, the Saw Cell material where I am currently. But yeah, definitely not a song you would expect on that record. But yeah, I'm intrigued because, this is 2001, so it's notably after the soft cell I've been going through, but now more than 20 years ago. So it's really interesting to think about, and again, it's weird, like for the longest time, when talking about techno and trance records, there was this big demarcation point of like 2000, and that was like the old school styles and genres, and then the newer sounds, even in some of the same genres, and new genres that, weren't like big 90s, like, so it was this huge divide. And then now, like, like that was more than 20 years ago, so it's like, can I still say a tune from '03? Oh, that's a more modern track, whereas a tune from '98, only a few years earlier, and both of them more than 20 years ago, is like, is that distinction as meaningful as it seemed at the time? Maybe not. So again, like seeing this, I suppose now as a tune like in the middle of Marc's musical career, yeah, it's just interesting to hear a tune that was more uplifting than I thought it might be going into it, even knowing the title. And not that I necessarily was on the lookout. I don't think I mentioned in advance, like, it might be, sarcastic or have a darker underbelly. But it didn't really feel like that. It felt more like, it feels glorious when I have these feelings and when I'm moved to the point of like experiencing a revelation or like wanting to pray. So, yeah, it felt more sincere. But either way, a really cool tune. Shout out to Kim once again. You are massively appreciated. And from Luca as well. And indeed, shout out to all the folks following the Soft Cell journey. I know Marc has been commenting on most of them since I began going through that. So. Or through their catalog, I should say. I do need to get back to the grid at some point. I know it's been a long time now that I think of that, so shout out to Dayball as well. In any case, let me know what you think of this tune. I will see you next time. Peace.